Now, Republican Senator Pat Roberts of Kansas, who's here to weigh in on how all of this is playing out right now. Senator, great to see you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me on.
You were in that meeting with the president late yesterday, and it looks like there is a possibility of some movement, but the White House maintains that it still wants to remove demands for leverage. Will that mean that the Republicans are ready to give the president what he wants? And is the Republican leadership in full surrender mode?
Well, we're not in any surrender mode. There are a lot of plans out there. As a matter of fact, several were brought up at that meeting, but the president was less than definitive, if I could use that term, or less clear as to what he would accept and not accept prior to extending the debt ceiling, or for that matter, ending the government shutdown. Nobody wants this government shutdown, but we'd like to have something on the table so that we at least know what we're talking about prior to some promise. And the president has not provided that leadership. For that matter, neither has Harry Reid. This morning, while Republicans met, expecting that we might have some kind of an arrangement worked out, how we could proceed here on the Senate side. Apparently right now that's just not going to happen. I just expected more from Harry Reid, and I expected more from the president.
Well, give me a sense, give us insight as to what that meeting was like. What was the mood of the president when all of the senators met with him? I
think he was very professorial. We would ask specifically, what about this? We obviously had the Collins plan. We had other plans as well. I think the biggest thing that Republicans want to see is an answer to our long-term debt. Everybody's worried about this government shutdown. I don't want the shutdown. I don't know anybody that wants the shutdown. But unless we really cure our long-term debt problems, we're going to have a permanent shutdown. We're going to be bankrupt. So we'd like to see on the table precisely what the president would like to talk about and hopefully agree with regard to our long-term debt. Our kids and grandkids are at stake. Well,
there's a divide within the Republican Party at the moment on the direction of these negotiations and where they're going. Are GOP senators like yourself still looking for adjustments to Obamacare? Is that still on the table?
Well, I'd like to see the individual mandate dealt with. I've called for the resignation of Kathleen Sebelius, the Secretary of Health and Human Services, just on job performance. This is not personal at all. We've had no accountability in this administration. I go back to Eric Holder on Fast and Furious. I asked for his resignation. We can't find anybody to ask to resign on Benghazi. The same thing with the IRS investigation. I'm on the Senate Finance Committee. We haven't had any accountability there. We have a lot of communication. I hope we can get to the bottom of it. But in this particular case, you have a secretary running around the country saying everything's fine at taxpayer expense. This whole business with exchanges and getting them set up was supposed to cost about $100 million. It's 627 and climbing. It's not working.
I know you're very upset about the rollout to get folks signed on to Obamacare online. And as we've been telling folks, there have been lots of problems with the system that's in place. Of course, they've shut it down for a while. You're calling for the secretary's resignation. What kind of momentum is there for this at this moment? And despite what you want, there's really no sign that she will step down or that the president will ask her to step down.
I don't think it's very likely she'll step down, but I think it sends a signal by six or seven senators that have already agreed, and probably more to come, that at least have somebody accountable, as opposed to going around the country at taxpayer expense and doing all these promotional tours, ending up on a comedy show, for goodness sakes. How on earth can we ask people to sign up for a program when you can't sign up for the program? And that's where we are. I know in Kansas we haven't had one person yet have the ability to sign up for the program. So you got the providers, you got the servers, you can't get past the home page, and then on the insurance companies, they have no confirmation. I don't know how much this is going to cost to fix it. What, $1 trillion? And then you have fines looming as of January 1. I just don't think these things can't be fixed until somebody takes some accountability. That's the whole problem.
I can see that you're all riled up there, as are many others up there on Capitol Hill. Of course, we're going to be watching this very closely. We thank you so much for joining us, and keep us posted
thank you for the opportunity
as the developments unfold there. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, we're going to get through this.
Okay. Good to see you. Thank you.